Is the 23rd. God, the year went by, y'all. 23rd of December of 25. For those of you who see this months or years from now, 23rd of December. The year was like, bam. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. As you can hear, I sound a lot better than I did before. The wife is still getting better. She sounds a hell of a lot better than she was. We were planning to sneak off. We didn't have any kids visiting for Christmas because everyone came for Thanksgiving. Hey, Jules, we were thinking of jumping off and headed to Vegas, maybe to Dallas. We weren't sure where we were going, and then she got sick, and we were like, all right, well, we're both sick now, so we'll just not go anywhere. Hey, Billy, Merry Christmas to you. Folks, this won't be a long live stream. Just a quick reminder for everybody. I don't plan to travel, although you never know. At the last minute, we might change our minds. There's an observatory out in the mountains here. Believe it or not, Texas has mountains to the west. It's a few hours away. I might do a day trip up there and just see the observatory. I think that would be a cool video too. But just a reminder, if you're traveling, the northern part of the U.S. got clobbered by snow and ice and whatever the hell else hit them. Make sure you plan your trips. Check the weather, because it changes fast. 2 days ago, it was 50 degrees here. It's now 80, but it started at 35. So it goes from 35 to 80, which now is balmy. And by tonight, it'll be 40 degrees and you'll need a hoodie again. And that's how people wind up getting sick, is these kind of hey, Scott, weather swings. But make sure you plan your trip. Make sure you have plenty of, I don't know why it hid that, Scott. It hid the hello at Jules. The algorithm makes no sense anymore. But anyway, make sure you plan your trips, check your weather. Remember your tire inflation, especially when the weather gets from hot to cold. It tends to deflate tires sometimes. And actually a little bit of deflation in snow is not a terrible thing. You get a little more cross-section on the snow, kind of like when you're on sand. But again, not deflated, obviously. You got to be careful. But check your tires. Make sure you have enough fuel. Make sure if it's a long distance, you know where gas stations are, right? Most highways have plenty of gas stations, but there's some stretches. If you drive to Death Valley from Arizona to California, there's not a hell of a lot there. So you want to make sure that you don't wind up stuck. Hey, Pilgrim, Merry Christmas. Scott as well. Make sure you don't get caught in the middle of nowhere, whether it's the desert or in the snow. And factor that in if you're driving a lot of snow, which I lived up in the Northeast, up like toward the Canadian border. Lake effect snow is not a joke. It will fall fast and hard. And, you know, even if you normally take half a tank to get from A to B, you got 2 feet of snow on the ground, it's going to take you 3/4 of a tank. You might have more gas consumption because of that. So, somebody's, I'm not sure what's going on with the, some of the messages are just getting squished and it doesn't make sense, guys. Because basically y'all are saying hello to each other and it's hiding the comments. So I got to pull over here at this store anyway, so I'll continue from there. Anyway, if you're traveling, also make sure you bring some meds. If you have a script, that's something you should bring, but also over-the-counter stuff, right? I can tell you right now, I've gotten sick plenty of times on business trips in a hotel, ranging from the flu to food poisoning, and having things like Advil and Tums is a big help. Dude, that's the wrong lane. And homeboy's gonna get in a wreck over here. But hey, Neil, how are you? But make sure you plan those trips. Make sure you have meds. Also, plan for changes in weather once you get to where you're going, because just because it's 80 right now doesn't mean you won't have 3 feet of snow on the ground, 2 days from now, 3 days from now. Make sure you bring a jacket. I would say half the jackets I own, I bought because I forgot the jacket I had, and then the weather changed, and I either got rained on or it got freaking cold, and I wound up having to buy a jacket on the fly, and there went, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, depending on what I could find that would fit the bill for the occasion. So, make sure you have that. Man, the people are like not obeying the traffic signs at all today. That's panic Christmas shopping. Let me look at the chat real quick, because that's, I don't know why that hid that. Oops. That didn't make sense. It hid like and share. It hid, hello, Neil. I don't know why it's hiding everything. At Billy. Hey, Billy, what's going on? Man, what the heck? It hid, hey, PBC. When Pilgrim said hello to PBC, what the hell happened? Did they change something in YouTube? Okay, LN317 putting insults in Spanish. Yeah, you're out of here. Goodbye. What a dunce. Hey, Wakatu? Wakatu, that's an awesome name. What's going on? Hide that one. Thank you, Hudson. Hey, Mike. Thank you, yeah. It was, and you know what's sad? He could have put other Spanish insults, and that would have been funny as shit, but no, he insisted on putting nasty things. Anyway, so where I was saying, check your weather, check your routes, watch for people not paying attention and major distracted driving, like they're literally texting and rolling in the parking lot. No hands on the wheel. I saw this yesterday. And hey, Conserve. They are, Pilgrim, they're lazy. And it's, if I get a funny troll where he comes in and goes, oh, hey, I did whatever, and, it's kind of funny, I'll let him hang around so we can have some fun. But Spartan. Yeah, see, there's another one. That's, bye, Spartan. It could have been funny. And they just, what a ding dong. They're just, so I'll show you a trick I use to keep my console organized. And this is a great time to, I forgot I had these. Oh, these are the Rona masks from like God knows when. I'm sure they don't serve any purpose anymore. They wouldn't let me in the damn airport without them, which kind of sucked. So, I get these little Tupperware things. These are the disposable meal prep bins. And how did this wind up in here? All right, anyway. So apparently, I guess my wife decided she got tired of the Splendas. I save them when I'm on the road because they forget to give them to me at the coffee shop. But I put ibuprofen, allergy meds. I got Tylenol in here. I've got a boatload of these things. Where the hell did all that come from? Damn. I guess, yeah, that's a bit much. We'll take some of that out. Anyway, I didn't even realize I had this. Anyway, stuff like this. I have another one with all my cables, so I don't have cables running amok. If you wear glasses, an extra pair of readers definitely helps. Antacid, because you've never eaten truck stop food and got heartburn, right? I started modding for a channel that helps homeless people in Austin. The trolls are evil. The trolls, half the time, I think the trolls are either mental patients or they are, they're bots. I don't even think half of them are real people anymore. I think a lot of them are just, I don't know, they're not human beings for sure. Anyway, well, that was a mess. I didn't expect to do that on a live stream and just have to pull out everything. But anyway, so meds. And then this little guy has miscellaneous things, notepads, business cards. But these, you can get about 5 of these for $5. They're about $1 a pop. And oh, I got a lighter in here. I got a beer can opener. I have an extra pen. It's just little things I found out over the years I needed. I have a USB drive in here. That's interesting. And a pen. Another pen. I don't have a Sharpie. That's surprising. Oh, no. No, I take that back. Ladies and gentlemen, there is indeed a Sharpie. But anyway, this is kind of how... Now I made a bigger mess than I expected. This is one of the ways to kind of organize yourself. So instead of having all this as a hot mess in your console, I keep it in these little bins, and then I can close them all together. And other than this pile of sweeteners that I did not realize I had, where the hell did those come from? I'm not even sure. I must have been throwing them in there for weeks. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. Again, check your route, check your weather. Weather's changing really fast lately. Road conditions, plan an alternate route, have your meds, organize your truck now while you're at home before you drive to the family. Double check the tires. If you have a tire inflator or an air compressor that can run on batteries, which I do, charge the batteries. Even if you don't get a flat tire, even if you're hosting, someone who's visiting might get the flat tire, and you want to be able to like reinflate their tires so they can get home. Also, make sure you have enough gas. Know where your gas stations are, and remember, if you have a lot of rain, a lot of snow and ice, it's going to take you longer to get to where you're going. And oh, Mike, can you throw the link for tonight in there if you get a sec? Obviously I can't do it here, but make sure that you have yourself planned out. There are going to be a lot of people driving. 90% of them are just trying to get from A to B and not have a problem. You are going to get the drunks. You are going to get the people who had a fight with grandma or fight with their cousin because of whatever the hell pissed them off, family drama, and they're going to drive home drunk and angry, or just angry, which sometimes is just as bad. You don't want to be on the road. Honestly, in most cases, if we're not going to a destination or we cannot get to where we're going before Christmas, we stay at home. Like, we don't travel on Christmas nor on New Year's because of the idiots out there. You just don't want to deal with it. You don't want to deal with getting in the wrecks, getting caught behind the wrecks. And if you go out too late, you know, you wind up dealing with the drunk people and the stupids. The room is who I'm watching. Hey, Grandemo, what's going on? But I'm getting new tires on one vehicle. Oh, hey, Virginia Bush. Wait, who is it? Yeah, Bushcrafter, hello. But yeah, folks, look, take some time. Hey, Dosum, and anyone I missed in the chat. I don't have my glasses, just kind of zipping by. Make sure you plan your trip. And don't forget to, don't leave gifts in your car. If you're doing last minute shopping, I'm getting this. Well, okay, I'm not going to show it because the person may actually watch me. It's a family member. But I had one last gift that I promised someone that is now hiding in my car. Don't leave a bunch of gifts, especially expensive ones, visible in your car while you're shopping. This time of year is notorious for the breaking and entering of vehicles, and you just don't want to deal with that, right? Windshields are expensive, and they're not going to try to break into the trunk or fish around the car, right? They don't want to do that. What they want to do is they want to break a window, grab something, and run. So I don't even have a vehicle. Well, you don't have to worry about that. But even so, do some, if you go out, you know, you're going shopping, you know, watch your purchases. Make sure you kind of don't keep your hands too busy to where you don't have a free hand if there's an emergency. Yeah, blanket. Hudson's a great idea. I actually keep an old military poncho and a roll-up blanket way in the back of the SUV in case you get stuck somewhere. You get stuck in your vehicle and you may not want to run it the whole time. So you may heat up the vehicle and then put the blanket on until somebody can come help you out. I'm fortunate my wife and I have off-road vehicles, which we drive day to day. So it would take a lot to get us stuck, but you know, not everyone lives out in the boonies like we do. And, you know, most people have normal vehicles, which will get stuck in certain environments. So that is a really cool truck. Somebody put a snorkel on a Chevy Blazer? But then he did that rhino coating over the whole vehicle. So it actually looks like something from the apocalypse. That's really freaking cool. He has a light bar and everything. It's funny because it's an older vehicle, so the vehicle itself probably ran him 20 grand, and then he put another 20 grand of shit. But it looks cool. I gotta admit, that's pretty nifty. I mean, you could do that, then you won't get stuck, but you know, anyway, in any case, folks, let me see if I can flip the camera. That guy. Like, that's, I don't know if I'd have done it to that vehicle, but he clearly had fun with it. But in any case, well, look, folks, plan your trips accordingly. Be safe. Be careful out there. You know, and enjoy the holidays. Turn off the news. Turn off the doom scrolling and all the chaos. There's enough stupid to go around for the rest of the year, for next year too. So, you guys be safe. Stay careful. We have roving teenagers try door handles. Yes, we've been having that in our neighborhood every now and then. And the thing that pisses me off the worst, and I am the biggest Second Amendment guy out there, is when someone says, oh, they stole my gun from my car, and then you find out in the conversation on Facebook or whatever, wherever they post it, they didn't lock the door. So you left your car unlocked, and you left an unsupervised weapon in your car. Not that the guy should be stealing, granted, that's a crime, they should not do that, but lock your shit. Like that's when, you remember the Full Metal Jacket where the sergeant finds the locker unlocked and then he spills everything and then everyone has to do push-ups? That's how I feel when I hear that. It's just, In any case, folks, just a reminder, tonight, Four Horsemen, I think Hudson Valley threw the link in there. If not, are we on your channel or Livingston Man? I thought it was Livingston Man. Anyway, we are going on tonight, and it'll be our last one before Christmas. And then, yeah, other than that, folks, have a blessed Christmas. Be safe. Be careful out there. Plan your trips. Don't drink and drive. Trust me, the 20, 30 bucks for an Uber or cab or whatever is well worth it versus the other consequence. And plan your trips. Get organized. Clean up your car now while you have a minute. And stay safe and be careful. And God bless you all. I will see you all tonight and then after Christmas.